We are 8 years into the Woodland Creation Grant Scheme. The scheme will run for 100 years and will look to create 7,000 hectares of new deciduous wooded habitat. The scheme is funded through a Section 106 agreement with Anglo American as part of offsetting carbon emissions generated by the Woodsmith Mine. So I'm Sam Newton, the Woodland Creation Officer with the Northfield Moors National Park. All of the schemes we're working on are storing carbon, but they're also doing so much more than that. They're creating really rich, diverse habitats that are going to benefit people and nature within the national park. We're creating woodlands that buffer and extend and create connectivity between existing woodlands and ancient woodlands as well. We're creating riparian woodland that buffers watercourses, slows down the water flow into them, shades rivers as well. We're creating woodlands on farms and moorland edge, on bracken banks where the trees will shade the bracken and create a use for those areas as more diverse woodland or wood pasture that could be grazed as the bracken is shaded out. We work with landowners to come up with what works best for them, and we will work with them from designing and developing the scheme, through any consultations that need to be done, and through the delivering the schemes on the ground. And we fund these schemes at 100% and up to 5 years of maintenance included.
Hi, I'm Mark Hayes and we're at my farm, White Lodge Farm in Langdale End. So we moved here in 2015 and this was a small holding, but as many people will know, making a living on a small holding is quite difficult. So we decided to diversify. We planted an orchard on 1/3 of the land. 1/3 of the land we leave as rough grassland for field voles because we've got barn owls here. And the other third, we got a scheme through the National Park to plant 6,500 broadleaf indigenous trees over 5 hectares. Now in 2024, it's an amazing landscape and completely transformed. Whilst we were looking at planning a woodland, we looked at various other schemes to help finance it. But we alighted on the National Park scheme largely because it's a very holistic scheme, because it's local and because they seem much more in touch with the environmental aspects. The pleasure that I get seeing the changes, seeing the growth in the trees, the growth in the wildlife, that makes it all worthwhile to me.
What we're starting to see here at White Lodge Farm as the trees develop and it turns into a woodland, we're seeing the woodland rides start to establish, we're seeing the open space becoming more diverse, we're seeing some woodland flora starting to creep into the areas beneath the trees. And these things, as a woodland develops and becomes more diverse over time, are things that we will see and we want to see happen across these schemes. We're always looking for new landowners to collaborate with. It's really rewarding to see the positive impacts of these projects come to fruition. We're passionate about creating amazing spaces like this across the whole of the National Park.